Hey everybody, Frank Kern here. First of all, thanks for your interest in this class. And I think it kind of goes without saying right now that intent-based branding works. And we know it works because it's what got you here. So in this little video walkthrough, I'm going to show you how it works and how you might model what I'm doing in a minute. But before we do, I gotta let you know something. I'm going to be sharing my own personal sales stats with you. And I'm not doing that as any way possible of making any kind of income claim. I'm not trying to predict what you're going to do in your business. It has nothing to do with it. I have no way of knowing what you're going to do. When I show you my sales figures, I'm just doing it to illustrate how what I'm doing is working well for me. So hopefully we understand that. If we do, that's good. Keep watching the video. If that doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. Please don't enroll in this class, all right? So cool? Cool. All right, so how did we end up here? Right? You're watching this video on my site. How'd you get here? Why are you interested in the class in the first place? Well, think about it. All right. Starting December 1st, I started making a lot of Facebook and Instagram and YouTube posts, and you probably saw them. Here's some examples of them, right? I would just go on my laptop and go live on Facebook, and sometimes I do it from my phone, and sometimes I would do it in another room outside of my office, and sometimes I'd post on Instagram, and sometimes I'd upload that stuff to YouTube, and you saw it. And here you are, right? Which is pretty cool. So clearly the methodology works in terms of getting attention, getting people interested in what it is you have to offer. But how? How does it work? And why does it work? Well, let me walk you through it. Okay, so the overall strategy is something called intent-based branding. And there are 3 pillars to this machine, okay? So pillar number 1 is organic posts. That's just like free stuff, regular style posts that you're posting across all kinds of social media channels you don't pay for. You're not spending any money on them, you're just posting them. And the second pillar is the fact that if done properly, every single one of these posts can actually be an asset to your business, meaning that the stuff that you create today and you put on social media can actually continue to do good for your business well into the future. Okay, so that's the second pillar of it. And the third pillar is advertising. And that's a little bit of an optional pillar, although I do recommend it. So I want to kind of walk you through how all 3 of these pillars work together during this video and hopefully demonstrate the value of taking this class, right? So first thing I want to share with you is this isn't just about Facebook. I've been using intent-based branding across multiple social media networks. I go on Facebook and put content there. I take that same content, I put it on YouTube. I take little pieces of that content and I put it on Instagram. And I also take some of the audio from my content and I use it as a podcast. And here's the most important thing. Every piece of content always makes an offer and drives people into a sales process. That's why I've got those little gears there on the bottom of the screen. So a sales process could be a webinar or a book funnel or a sales letter, or they could be booking a consultation with you. It really doesn't matter. The main point is every single piece of content is always driving people into your sales process. So the question becomes, well, all right, kind of sounds simple enough, but what kind of posts do you make? Well, typically, I make video posts. Those are the overwhelming majority of my posts. And occasionally I'll make like regular Facebook posts or Instagram posts where there's a picture and there's a lot of written content. Regardless of what the type of post is, here's what's really, really important. They all have these 3 characteristics. So every post I'm making using this methodology and every post you're going to make using this methodology has these 3 things in common. Thing number 1, it provides value. So we never want to post anything that doesn't actually help people. And the reason that's important is because when you help people, you create goodwill with your audience. And the more goodwill you have, the easier it is for your offers to be accepted. So every post helps people, it creates goodwill, and it also makes an offer. So that's what I'm doing. And I kind of want to walk you through how I quote unquote discovered this. All right. So on December 1st, I registered frankkernbook.com and I started promoting that website using intent-based branding. Now, I've been advertising my book through a different funnel, but everything on frankkernbook.com, if you go to that individual webpage, that is trackable through just free posts that I'm making across social media on intent-based branding, just using this methodology I'm walking you through. So my first posts were on Instagram. All right, and this is the first one I did. This was on December 1st. And then I did a couple more on Instagram. And then here comes up around December 5th, And I started doing it on Facebook. And I started making video posts on Facebook just from my laptop and my phone, nothing fancy. And as you can see, like here's one with me in my bathrobe on December 6th. So I'm just going on Facebook, going on Instagram, saying, hey, go to frankkernbook.com. And then I started getting the idea of, hey, maybe I'll take the stuff I'm doing on Facebook and I'll upload it as well to YouTube. Right? So I did that, and interestingly, by the 7th of December, just doing that had generated in that particular funnel on frankkernbook.com $9,387 in sales. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is actually working. So at that point, I started really going kind of hog wild crazy with it and making a lot of posts and really trying to make the posts as valuable as I could and really tried to systemize the approach that I was using to do it. Fast forward to today, when I'm recording this for you, this book funnel has done $90,213.60 in revenue, all from making these organic posts. So I think we can pretty much agree that it's a really, really good idea to create organic posts that have a lot of content in them and that are really helpful to people and that make offers. But now the question becomes, well, what's the best kind of post to make? And in my opinion, is Facebook Live. And the reason why is because Facebook Live gets the most engagement. And I want you to remember that word, engagement. Now, every time I suggest this to people, hey, you should go on Facebook Live, I get this inevitable question from the overwhelming majority of people, which is, all right, yeah, but what if I don't have a lot of followers, right? I don't want to be on Facebook Live with one person watching or nobody watching. What's the point? And that's a very valid question. And here's the answer to that question. Followers don't matter. Here's why. It used to be that if you had a lot of followers, you'd make a post on Facebook or wherever, and then people would see that stuff that you posted. Well, that's known as organic reach. What happened earlier this year is Facebook and all the major networks changed their algorithm so it doesn't show your stuff to all your followers anymore. In fact, it doesn't show your stuff to the overwhelming majority of your followers. What all of this translates to is the amount of followers you have, it doesn't really count for anything. So the question now becomes, well, what does count? What's the thing that gets your message in front of people? And the magic word is engagement, all right? And here's what engagement means. It means someone has either watched your content or they've commented on your content or they've liked it or they've shared it with somebody. And the more people that do that, the more people these networks will start showing your stuff to. Here's a little case study. So my wife, Natalia, she decided to start using intent-based branding in her business. And she started going live on Facebook. And as you can see, she started right around the 22nd of December. And when she did, she didn't have that many people watching her stuff. This screenshot was taken several days after she did it. And as you can see, kind of down there at the bottom of the screenshot, she only had 283 people saw it in total, not even when she was live. Like usually when you go live at first, there's just a couple people watching, but the post lives on forever and about 283 people saw it. And then she kept on doing it. And the next day there, she did it again. And, after time, she had about 307 people saw it, which is great. That's a little bit more. And then she did it again. And here's one from December 26th. And now she's got 428 people saw it. And then she kept doing it and she was consistent. And then fast forward to December 29th, now she's got 1,100 people saw it. So that leads us to the other magic word here is consistency. If we keep on posting engaging, useful content on social media, the networks, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or whatever, they will reward us if people engage by showing our stuff to more and more people, which means, by the way, that the other magic word, the other magic word comes into play, and that is the word asset. Here's what's really, really fascinating. It's this. Whenever we make a post on social media, if the post is good and useful and valuable, people will still keep looking at it long after we've made that post. And man, when I discovered this, it really hit me like a ton of bricks. So here's what happened. From December 1st until December 24th, I was posting every day, posting about frankkernbook.com, providing value and helping people. But on December 24th, I decided to start promoting this class instead. So I just kind of quit mentioning the book and started mentioning, hey, this class is pretty good. And I was driving people to a special website to register for a webinar about this class. Well, I thought, okay, maybe book sales are going to plummet because, I'm not promoting it every day. And what I discovered was really, really shocking. So here you can see On December 24th, I start promoting kerncall.com. So up until the 24th, I was promoting frankkernbook.com. On the 24th, I shifted and started promoting kerncall.com. So here's just a screenshot of an Instagram post I did. Here's another screenshot of an Instagram post, and you can see it was all about kerncall.com. And then I'm going on Facebook and talking about kerncall.com. And I upload the content to YouTube as well, talking about kerncall.com. And two interesting things happened. Right. Thing number one up here at the top of the screen, you can see I had 1,887 people actually register for those webinars, and over half of them actually showed up and attended, which is amazing. But what's really cool is the screenshot you see down here towards the bottom of the screen. This is that same organic book funnel showing $37,172.60 in revenue beginning December 25th up through when I'm recording this for you now. And what's interesting about that is that I wasn't promoting that book funnel anymore. I was promoting the class. So what this means is that the stuff that we create today can continue to serve our business in the future. That means it's an asset that can continue to work for you. And what's really interesting is to date, now just from social media posts, that book funnel has done from December 1st until when I'm recording this for you, is done $90,213.60. And the class that I started promoting and around Christmas Eve has now gone on to do $242,271 in sales. So that's a total of $332,484.60 in total sales. And again, I'm not telling you, hey, you're going to make 300 grand or whatever. The reason I'm showing you this number is to point out that, oh my gosh, this is really, really working very, very well, and it's definitely worth testing in your business. So now the question remains, how is this working, right? Like, why are people buying? How does it all tie together? It's based on the age-old formula of selling things online, which is this. Step one, build a list. Step two, sell them stuff, right? Now, when people give you that formula, they kind of leave out the most important part, which is the middle here between building the list and selling them stuff. That is to create the relationship with the list. So the idea is that if you create the relationship and you focus on that, that really the money is in the relationship, right? Like, it's hard to sell the list stuff unless you've got that relationship. So the way this works, the first part of the way this works is in every single post, I create that relationship by doing this. Every post provides value. It genuinely helps people. In doing so, that relationship is created. I'm genuinely helping people. And then in every single post, I'm also making an offer. When I'm creating that relationship, I'm doing two things. Number one, I'm making the offers work better because they like me before they ever see the offer because I've helped them, kind of common sense. But number two, when I'm creating that relationship, people are engaging with the posts and they're liking it and they're commenting and they're sharing and they're saying thank you. And what happens is this really like good cycle, because the more people engage, the more people Facebook and the other networks are actually going to show my stuff to. Let me show you why I'm saying this, all right? So here's some screenshots. This is for the month of December. This is my Facebook stats just for organic posts. You can see that Facebook showed my stuff, my free posts, to 1.1 million people. That's the number that's circled over there on the left. But what's really important is 69,000 people actually engaged with that content. It means they watched it, or they liked it, or they shared it, or they commented on it. 69,000 people. On YouTube, or rather on LinkedIn, we had 27,000 people engage with the content. On YouTube, we had 33,000 people actually watch the stuff. These are all people that are consuming the content. That's engagement. If we add all of that up, it's 129,987 people who engaged with my content in December. Now, I just showed you the numbers, so a lot of those people ended up buying stuff from me. But what's really cool is that 129,987 people, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they are automatically going to show more of my content to that 100,000 something people more often because they engaged. It's just like having a list now. So right now, if I go and I make a post on social media or whatever, that 129,000 people, they're going to be more likely to see it than anybody else because they've already engaged with my stuff in the past. So it's really like having a list. But remember, all right, the trick here is that we want to put up stuff that provides value and creates a relationship and makes an offer. And here's the thing. When we make that offer, we also, as a result, make sales. So every single time I'm posting, I'm making an offer, but I'm always making an offer after the relationship is established. And more offers equals more sales. So that's why I've got numbers like this. As I'm recording this for you from December 1st up until now, this book funnel has done $90,213.60. And the class to date has generated $242,271 in revenue, all from making these organic posts. And that's a total of $332,484.60 in total sales. And again, I'm just putting out content organically, and it provides value, builds goodwill, and it always makes an offer. So like I mentioned earlier, the principle and the concept that I'm using is something called intent-based branding, and there's 3 pillars to it. I just showed you the organic posts, right? I'm like, hey, here's the examples of the types of posts I'm making. Here's the way I'm structuring them. And the second pillar is the fact that, hey, every post you make can be an asset. That's why I'm still getting book funnel sales, even though I haven't been promoting the book funnel during this time. The third pillar of this methodology is paid ads. Now, here's what's interesting. This is the first time this has ever happened in my life. In the month of December, the stuff that I just showed you brought in more revenue than my paid ads did, which is crazy because I've always just said, oh, social media is dumb. Paid ads is the way to go. I still think paid ads are great, but that organic stuff I just showed you is more revenue and sales than my paid ads brought me, but I still turned a good profit on my ads, so I'm definitely going to keep doing paid advertising as well. So with that said, here's the big picture of how this whole model works, all right? Step number 1, we consistently, the key word here is consistently, post valuable organic content on social media. That's code for free, right? You're not paying for that. You're just posting it on social media, and you're doing it very strategically. Then, after a while, obviously you should be selling stuff, right? So that content builds the value, it provides helps people, it builds a relationship, it also makes an offer, kind of follows that framework I just showed you. After a while, what you do is you look and you see which posts work the best. Which posts people watched, which they consumed the most of, which ones got the most engagements, and then we can turn those into paid ads, and then you repeat the process once it's working. Now, this third step here, the paid ads, that's totally optional, but I do recommend it because why not? If the ads are profitable, why wouldn't we do it, right? Regardless of whether or not you throw paid ads into the equation, here's the deal. Intent-based branding is without question 100% hands down the single most powerful marketing methodology I have ever seen in my life. And what's really great is because of the way social media works, the playing field is totally leveled. The main tools that we need to utilize this method are, number 1, a cell phone that has a camera on it, like an iPhone or whatever, that you've got connected to your social media accounts. Number 2, your actual content, what it is you're going to say. So that's why I've got a picture of a brain there. And number 3, you need something to sell and some type of sales process. So if you're an attorney, your sales process would be people book a consultation with you and then they become a client or not. That's probably your sales process. If you sell information products, it might be a sales letter. If you're a consultant, it might be someone applying to talk to you and then you taking them as a customer, right? So assuming you've got that sales process and that's already functional, really the most tools that you need are your cell phone with a camera on it and your content. And then we're going to use those 2 tools combined with social media to drive more people into your sales process. So that's the big picture overview, and that's what we're going to really be covering in a deep dive in this class, all right? So if you're watching this, you're interested in the class, that's why you've come to this website, so let me give you the details about it. So the class is 6 weeks, and every week I release one module that walks you through one of the main pillars of actually implementing intent-based branding for yourself and for your business. And all of the lessons are taught by me personally, and they're all accessible from anywhere in the world, any device, as long as it's connected to the internet, 24/7. So even after the class is over, of course, you still have access to all the materials. But what really sets this class apart from any other training you've likely ever taken is the fact that it is really geared towards one thing, and that is implementation. So I don't know about you, I believe that taking classes is really great. I think classes are very, very helpful, but I think if you don't actually have another person to personally help you get things done and ensure that you're able to actually use what you learn in the class, then the class isn't going to be that valuable, which is why I've structured this class to be much different from what you might be used to. See, in addition to the 6 weeks of training with me that's all online, you're also broken down into small groups with your fellow students. And in those groups, you get live implementation help from my team. And when I say small groups, I really mean small groups. It's just you and 9 other students. And the team members that are helping you, they're not random people with no experience. These are actually the same team members that are full-time employees of my company that actually work with our agency level clients. These are clients that pay $10,000 a month for help doing this exact same thing. So this is the same team that's physically going to be helping you. And the way that works is every week, in addition to having the training from me, you also have a small group implementation session with my team. Again, that's you and just 9 other students in a small group where you can get your questions answered personally, you can get the help you need, and most importantly, you can get it done. Because, let's face it, education is great, knowledge is great, but implementation is what gets results. And that's why I'm including this in this class, this actual hands-on help from my team for you. And it's, of course, at no additional charge. So let's talk about the structure and how the class works. Week number 1, we get the first things done first, which is your sales process, right? Remember I told you, you need a cell phone connected to social media, you need your content, and of course you need some way to monetize all the attention and the traffic you're getting. And that's called a sales process. For example, should you drive people to a webinar? Should you drive people to a video like this one? Should you drive people to an application and talk to them on the phone? The answer is it depends. It depends on your skill set. Are you better on video? Are you better on the phone? It also depends on your business model and what you're selling. So in week number 1, I'm going to show you all the sales processes I've ever used. I'm going to show you the best sales processes that my clients have used. And I'm going to help you hone in on exactly what's going to monetize the attention and traffic that you're getting from this the best. So week number 2, now we're going to focus on exactly who you need to be making content for. Let's face it. The entire civilized world, as a general statement anyway, is using social media, right? There's 7-point-something billion people on the world. Roughly 3 billion of them are on social media. You can get any type of customer you want. And with that in mind, we need to know really who is your ideal person, because once we find out who your ideal person is, that is going to dictate what you say in your content. And speaking of content creation, there's really only 3 things that we're going to be focusing on. And those are your 3 main messaging pillars. Those 3 messaging pillars are going to be the 3 things that you talk about in your content every single time. You're not going to have to come up with groundbreaking new stuff to talk about. You're just going to find something to talk about in one of these 3 core areas, and you're off to the races. So you're never going to be left with a loss for words of what you need to talk about, etc. And finally, in week number 4, I'm going to help you with your offers. The offers are what make you money. And there's multiple types of offers. There is a big picture offer, like what you're watching right now. There's a tutorial-based offer. There's a curiosity-driven offer. There's a current events style offer. There's a direct offer. There's a story-based offer. There's something called the billion-dollar offer framework. And depending on what you're selling and how you're doing it, you're going to want to use one of those types of offers. So in week number 4, I'm going to show you all the different ways to not only make offers, but make offers and maintain that bond and that relationship that you've built with your audience. Week number 5, I'm going to show you how you can do all of this stuff and be everywhere, be in front of your perfect audience all the time without living on social media. It's a methodology that I call content compounding. Typically, I spend personally about 20 minutes every day on social media, and I want to show you how you can reach your ideal people and build a relationship with them in just 20 minutes every day. Now, again, I'm not saying, hey, you could get rich just working 20 minutes a day. I'm saying this component of actually attracting your ideal person and driving them into your sales process, I don't want you to have to spend more than 20 minutes a day doing it. And the way you're able to do it that efficiently is through something called content compounding. And I'm going to show you how to do that in week number 5. And finally, in week number 6, I'm going to show you how to take the content that's working the best for you, the stuff you're not having to spend any money on, that's bringing in the most interest and the most engagement and the most customers, and I'm going to show you how to turn that into winning ad campaigns. So we're going to go very, very deep on that in week number 6. And again, the way this works, I'm teaching it live every Monday. I'm going to answer your questions personally. If you miss a session, it's recorded. And then during the week, you're broken down into small groups with my team, the same team that manages ad campaigns for my agency clients, and they're going to help you implement everything personally. So it's very, very hands-on. It's very high touch. Implementation is really, really important here. So If you want to grow your brand and you want to build a huge audience of people that really, really like you because you've actually helped them, and you want to be everywhere that your prospects look, and you want to have a huge impact on your marketplace by helping a lot of people and creating a tremendous amount of goodwill, and if you want to sell a lot of stuff as a result, then this class is for you. So at this stage, you should see a little button under this video on the web page here. Go ahead and click on that button and get enrolled in the training right now. You'll likely notice a countdown timer on this page, and when that timer hits 0, the enrollment for this class is expired. And the reason for that is twofold. Number one, of course, and obviously, deadlines always increase sales. So there is that capitalistic element of my having that there. The second reason is significantly more important, and is this. We have a limited number of team members that can actually do the small group coaching, where you're broken down into just little groups with you and only 9 other students to help you implement. And because of that fact, we just can't take that many people. So I have to close the enrollment periodically to make sure that we don't overbook. In fact, there are only 2 team members that I have enough trust in to actually help you with this. So as you can imagine, enrollment really is pretty limited. So if you want to put intent-based branding to work in your business, and if you want to experience that incredible goodwill that you're able to build with that marketplace that you're trying to serve, and if you would like to experience the incredible influx of energy and attention and desire from your market, and if you want to engineer things so it's a lot simpler to sell your products and services, then you need to go ahead and enroll in this training right now. It's an excellent training. I'm very proud of it. I stand behind it, and I'm 100% certain that you'll be glad you took the training. So go ahead and click on the Enroll Now button somewhere around this video, and we'll see you in class. Thanks for watching.